Hi everyone, my name is Scotty Moser and I am a money coach. And today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the energy of money. Okay, first of all, there are five types of money. There are income, income goals, savings, debt, and toxic money. And each one of these five types of money carries its own energy associated with it. And each of us has a specific energy that we carry with regards to money, and the amount of money that we have always matches this energy. It is law, it's the law of the universe, the natural law. And so, what makes up our energy with regard to money? Well, there's three different parts for each type. And the first part is the mental reaction or the mental soundtrack, the habitual self talk that plays in our head with respect to each of these types of money. And the important thing to remember about this is that our mental self talk is so consistent and so persistent and has been there for so long that most of us aren't even consciously aware of the inner, usually critical voice that's yakking away to us about money. And so that's the first aspect that makes up our energy of money. And the second aspect is our emotional or our body's response. This is also our stress response, or some people call it our fight or flight. It's what happens to us emotionally and with our bodies when one of these types of money comes up, how we feel about money. And the third aspect that makes up our energy of money is an underlying event. And this is an event, it doesn't necessarily have to be financial in nature, that our mind and our body has wired in, has connected to money. And so every time money comes up, it triggers the same response that we had to this event that happened in our past because it's all wired in there together. And so, if you haven't been getting any luck from your law of attraction work, if it hasn't been working as effectively or as quickly as you would like it to be, it's probably because you're addressing only the mental aspect when there's the emotional aspect too that needs to be cleared and let go of to really change your vibe. And also to really get to the roots of the problem, we need to find and clear that underlying event. And so you have a clean slate to work with and a positive slate to work with regards to money. So those are the five types of money: savings, debt, income goals, and toxic money. And each of these types, our energy is different with regard to each of these types. And each of these types has its own three parts. And the three parts are our mental reaction, our emotional reaction, and an underlying event that our mind and body has connected to this type of money. So, with that being said, let's talk about savings for a minute. And I jumped on the Google before I made this video and found that Americans are saving less than ever, and that the vast majority of us have less than $10,000 in our savings account, which isn't that much in this day and age. And so savings is something where a lot of us would really like to have more of, and that means it's a good candidate to start with the energy of money. So let's think about, most of us have less than $10,000. So let's think about if you had $100,000 in your savings account. I want you to close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths and breathe in and out and tune in to how that would feel to have 100 grand of cash in your savings account. Just really think about it. What would you be telling yourself? That you're awesome, that you did it, that you've arrived. How would you feel? You would feel safe. You would feel taken care of. You would feel free. Because the underlying feeling of savings is of restoration and replenishment. You could take a vacation if you wanted to. You could fix your roof or your water heater if they needed it without a lot of stress or anxiety. If you had a huge number in savings, you would just feel probably a lot more relaxed and safe in your life. So, this is the energy that we want to carry with respect to savings. And now I want you to think about the number that you actually have of cash in your savings. And if it's zero, then I want you to think of zero. And I want you to tune into that and take a couple deep breaths. And it might be unpleasant, but tune in to how you feel about that number of your actual savings. And it's probably not good. It's probably anxious, fearful, unsafe. Um, if you can hear what you're saying to yourself, if you can hear that voice, it's probably along the lines of something really critical and negative, like, you're so stupid. How could you do this? You know what to do. Why don't you have more? You need to get on this. Kind of berating and criticizing and pushing you. And can you see how that contrasts with like the energy of saving, having a lot of savings? Can you see how it contrasts from where you're at to where you want to be? And so, to really grow your savings, the first thing you need to do is address those feelings and that self talk and find the event, the initial event that caused the feelings and self talk. And so, in my coaching program, we have a couple of ways that we can find those events, and I'll probably address it in more detail in a future video. But your action steps from now are to just be aware. The first step is clarity and being hyper aware of what's happening. So I want you to be really aware of what happens when each of these types of money comes up, or when money comes up at all. Notice what your heart is doing. Notice how your body feels. Notice what you're thinking. And just breathe your way through it. Take some deep breaths and try to relax. And just start making a list of awareness and of how you feel and what's happening in your mind with respect to money. And be open for events from your past popping up into your mind, because those might be the events that cause this whole thing and that you need to clear. So that's your assignment. Be hyper aware of what you're thinking and what you're feeling and what's happening. And that's the first step to healing your money issues. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.